So we went to Korean barbecue. Our server, super cool dude, by the way, super awesome. He was honestly like a vibe. He'd like Super Saiyan hair, super chill. Was very like comfortable with us. But the tables that he had to our left and to our right, the table to our left, it was a party of about 6 dudes and the leader of this wolf pack. The leader of these, there was, well, 4 out of the 6 were dressed in golf shorts and dress shirts, polos, if you will. Couple floral polos in there, you know what I'm saying? Leader of this wolf pack, upside down, slightly tilted to the left, visor. Beautiful. Absolutely wonderful. Wonderful attire. And they're little like co-captain, co-leader, if you will. Co-pilot, came rocking nice clean cowboy hat, which on his way out, of course, a little tip of the hat to the server. Thanks so much there, cowboy. Little partner. Jesus. Lord save me. I thought that was bad enough, right? They were all like pretty tipsy. So I thought that was bad enough, I guess. Cuck pilot of the cuck truck. So that's that table. They left shortly after we got there. They weren't there for too long. But the table to our right was a hoot and a holler. There was like a mother and a father who, honestly, they were about as old as my parents are. But their kids were like probably like 5 to 7, maybe 8 at most. The youngest son next to the father, just chilling, eating whatever food that was showed up. He just ate it. He was like silent, quiet as a mouse, just like chilling, eating the whole time. The daughter running around the table pretty much like every opportunity she could to come check her phone and play a phone game and then run back and go eat. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth the whole time. Chaos, absolute chaos. But this beautiful, there's this blessing of an individual between this interaction between this mother and her son. And man, let me tell you, it was like God came down and was like, here, have this beautiful interaction, this beautiful encounter. So the son was like trying to, I missed the initial conversation, but the son, I guess, was asking the mom about some kind of thing that he saw within the restaurant. And then, so the mom asked him, like, what did you say? Like, can you repeat the question? I didn't really hear you. And he asked her a different question, I guess, because she must have partially heard it. She's like, I asked you a question, you're giving me a different question. So I need you to ask me the question again. And he does the same thing. He asks her some other question. And she's like, I need you to open your mind and listen to me because I need to know your question. So listen to what I'm saying and ask me your question. Bruh. I was like, what? Excuse me? This child is like literally this kid's like 6 years old, is just like there's just like Korean barbecue places, it's like going off like crazy. So he just wanted to know if the height bottle, the blue alcohol height, was pronounced hit or height, basically. It was like a super not important question. But it was like such a big deal to this lady that he was trying to ask what this alcohol, like what the brand said, basically. And honestly, it seemed like she got caught halfway through trying to say like, open your ears, and then like stumbled and said, open your mind. Parents be moaning for no reason. So I had that exactly. So I had that whole. I had that. So I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm next to crazy lady over here, right? They're sitting there eating. They ate like probably like 15. What I thought was 15 servings of like bulgogi beef, which is like the marinated kind of usually typically lesser cuts of beef. And when the server came back to bring like yet another plate of bulgogi, she's putting down the initial plate, or she puts down the initial plate and goes around and has to reach over the kid to grab the old plate of the bulgogi, which is really just like beef juice and marinade or whatever. It's like not hot or anything like that. So she grabs it, pretend this is the plate, right? From the table's right here. She's picking it up and bringing it over to be closer to her. Fucking dunks the kid. The whole plate just curse splash on this little dude. And he just got totally dunked on. And she, the server's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. The kid's just sitting there, has literally no idea what's going on. He's just stone cold kid. No cry, no nothing. He's just like, oh man, I just got fucking shit spilled on me. And I'm trying so hard with every single cell in my body not to laugh at this kid that just got dunked on by like beef juice, basically. The mom freaks out. She loses her mind. She's like, what the fuck? I can't believe this happened. This is the second time tonight that this has happened. So this kid got dunked on with the bulgogi juice twice, bro. Twice dunked on meat juice. And I was like, holy shit. Maybe the kid deserved it. I don't know, to be honest. Maybe he deserved it. She was like losing her mind. She's like, I can't believe this is happening. This is insane. Oh my God. What kind of establishment are you running? Oh, lordy. So they bring over like towels and clean him up, and she's talking to him, making sure that he's like okay, and like, he's like, what is this? I don't understand. She's like, well, it's like, it's gross, but it's not like, anything bad for you. Like, you'll be fine. And so they finally get him all cleaned up and he's all hunky dory. She's obviously still super livid about it, but they keep eating and chilling. And she's like, oh, I guess we'll have to wash your hair tonight. As if like they don't wash his hair regularly. Like he had shaved sides of like his sides of his head were shaved, but he had like kind of longer hair like mine on top. Like, does this kid have fucking implants so you can't wash his hair? I don't understand. Like just wash you should honestly wash a child's hair on a regular basis, considering how dirty children typically are. Like this kid was like all over the place. He was eating. The only thing that the kid ate during the whole meal was fucking grilled mushrooms. Because, like, he didn't like any of the meat. So they just kept giving him mushrooms that he would just dunk in the salt and just eat, like, little tiny bites of just basically pure salt and mushroom. Kids normally shower every single day. I don't know, like, it seemed like it was like a thing that he suddenly had to shower tonight. Bad to wash your hair every single day? Well, if you got covered in beef juice, like, it seems like, okay, well, shower's the next best option, right? You might as well. So that's, we have that little encounter, and I'm just trying the entire time. After he got dunked on, man, I couldn't help but just like can't constantly like peek over at the table because they're like right over here to my right and listen in on their conversation. The kid kept losing his mind because he wanted a piece of our brisket. We kept ordering brisket and like and steaks, and every time the brisket would come out, it comes rolled typically when you go to Korean barbecue places. So it kind of comes like in these like little rolls that look like it honestly could see like it kind of looking like candy or something kind of sweet maybe. So he really, really, really badly wanted to like yoink a piece. And the mother came, I swear, if we had just turned over there and if I had offered like, hey, do you want to take a piece of our brisket? She would have like accepted in a heartbeat. But I was like, I'm going to wait until she asks me for the brisket because I think that would be a funnier interaction than me being like, oh, here, have a piece of brisket. She was looking over constantly. Every time we got brisket, she was like eyeing it like, maybe I can yoink it. Maybe I can take a piece of y'all's. She goes and asks the server, oh, can you guys just make one slice of brisket for me? Just one single piece? The dude's like, I don't think so. I think you got to order like, an order of brisket. And she's like, maybe just one slice. And he's like, I'll ask. Turns out, answer, no. Flat no. Doesn't end up getting that single piece of brisket that he so desperately wanted. And just every time we had brisket come out, I want some of that. Oh no, they ordered a half order. It came, they cooked it and gave it to him, and he's like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, I want that. And they're like, that's raw meat. You can't eat that. He's like, oh, I want to eat that though. This kid, that when after everything, honestly, this kid feels like he kind of deserved a good meat dunking, to be honest. Getting dunked on. Convinces you not to have kids? Same. This whole interaction, this poor kid, honestly, it was just so funny. to round off the whole night, right? They finished slightly before us. They go ahead and pay out. I don't know if they got a discount or anything for getting double meat dunked on, but double meat juice dunked on. But I assume that they kind of did. I don't know if the father ended up tipping. He was pretty chill. He was just like, yeah, it was an accident. Mom's like, well, yes, but it happened twice. I can't believe that it happened twice in the same night. Like, because your kid's not even like helping at all. He's just sitting there, taking up way too much space. Probably even could have bumped into the lady and got it spilled on himself, you know? Before we left, because we paid out and they were still finishing up their meal. Anyway, before we left, they were playing some kind of Megan Thee Stallion song. I don't know which one it is. I don't really listen to a lot of their music, but it was some kind of like pussy poppin' song, you know? And the kid gets up because he's all finished with his salt mushroom. The kid gets up and starts fucking throwing it back. Like this. Starts off with just like the hands. And he's kind of going like this. And the mom's like, be careful, dear. Be careful. There's people behind you. Next step for this kid. No cap. Hands on the edge of the chair and doing this shit.
Damn, boy, he's thick!
To a Megan Thee Stallion song. It was actually insane. I'm witnessing this like, he's just...
That's a thick-ass ball!
I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And she's like, just be careful, dear. There's people behind you. I'm like, is this real life? Is this actually happening? Hi, Kitty. I was like, what the fuck am I... I was like... It was insane. It was so crazy. So between getting dunked on to getting to wanting to eat raw meat to then twerking it up to a Megan Thee Stallion song. Actually, what a beautiful I was gifted a gift from the gods today to have experienced that, I'd say. Holy crap. That was my dinner. That was the course of like probably an hour. So thank you. Thank you for listening to my spiel because I had to share it.